My name is Eriya. Good evening, the Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Mr. Oweri.
I'm the Edmund. First of all, my name, I want to thank the Minister, Prime Minister, for his able explanation on the East African community. Now, me, I'm a workers leader. And first of all, I want to thank you for when we are leading the international employment policy. I remember you are one of the people I approached and led with me, and I want to thank you for supporting the national employment policy, which actually passed in the cabinet. That was last year in November. Now, in the East African community, we as workers of Uganda have been representing workers in the common market protocol. But we have one problem, that our colleagues in the East African community have got a full-fledged Ministry of Labor. Now, for us here, we had our ministry, just as a department, the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Now, the relevant laws, we have harmonized the laws within East Africa, the labor laws, of the national employment policy. Now, even the social security policy, but you find that we don't match with the East African community, and we have been leading even His Excellency the President. Now I leave you again that for us in order to effectively and match our standard with our colleagues, it was also a recommendation that Uganda should have a full-fledged Ministry of Labor, not leaving others to contribute. I thank you this evening.
Spectrum, hello. Okay, let's get your response to that question.
I don't think what he says, first of all, you would like to have a full Ministry of Labor like other member states. At the same time, people are complaining that our cabinet is too big. And I don't know whether because of lack of a separate full Ministry of Labor, the interest of the workers have not been attended to. Because I know very well that when we were discussing the common market, labor was fully represented in all our delegations to see that their interests are taken care of. But the question of creating a ministry, I think you should address it to the president. He's the one who creates ministries and abolishes them. Now, the question of social security policy. What was one of the questions that we are discussing regarding the free movement of labor? Because people have raised the question, if I have worked in Uganda as a doctor, I have my social security policy, if I go to Kenya, what happens?
Right.
Yeah. So it's one of the issues that we are discussing.
Yes.
How can one transfer the benefits and social security and in Uganda to other partner states, or vice versa?
Yes.
So this is one of the issues that really have been discussing, meaning how to implement the free movement of labor. But we have not resolved that one.
All right, let's get back a little bit to the currency. You are saying that we expect to have a currency next year.
Next year we are signing the protocol,
yes,
to establish
the common the monetary union.
Yes, a monetary union. And it's the same thing actually. Monetary union, one currency is the same thing.
Yes.
But there are other factors to consider when we were going to implement that. The question of harmonization of economic policies, the question of having a common external tariff in the region.
Yes.
That means goods entering in East Africa
are charged at one rate.
At one rate or at one point. The rest could vary. Now we have 25, 10 and 0. But it would mean goods of Uganda entering through Mombasa would be charged, taxed in Mombasa.
Yes.
And goods entering Dar es Salaam, through Dar es Salaam, will also be charged at that point.
Yes.
So the question that we have to resolve is, if the money is collected at Mombasa or Dar es Salaam, how is it going to be
shared out?
And in what currency? These are things that we are discussing.
Right.
And of course the policies also, we are going to look at the economic policy. Where do we emphasize, what do we emphasize, what do we think is important? And of course the other one is that we shall have one central bank. So that means we are saying all of them
become currency centers.
Against the currency centers, and then you have maybe a currency board like we have in East Africa. So all these matters are being discussed. And then the other one is, which is tricky, is budget.
Budgets, foreign exchange reserves.
Okay, but the budget, for example, taxation.
Yes.
You may find that one country is getting its taxes on certain article or not a certain item, so not article but item, like for example fuel.
Yes.
Now, if you come to one currency or the economy, are we going to do the same? So these are the issues that we're trying to hammer out. Right? But otherwise, we're targeting next year to sign the protocol.
Yes.
For going towards
the monetary union.
The monetary union for common currency.
And then we'll walk towards it.
Yes.
The actual, probably a shilling, the East African shilling.
Yes. Yeah, we don't know what we shall call it, the East African shilling, like we had it before.
Yes.
And then, of course, means going out, printing your East African
one currency,
and having time to phase out the old currency.
Right.
All these, we have to work them out very well.
So if the glass is half full, within 2 years, we'll probably have a 1 shilling.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, the other question people are raising, the economies are not the same.
Right.
Who's going to benefit, who's going to lose out? But that one is, for me, in simplistic terms, is to say, even in Uganda, not all parts are endowed equally.
That's true.
But as long as you have a central authority to make sure those who are disadvantaged are compensated for, then that's the way. Which means, in my view, if we go for monetary union, I think the question of having a federation becomes very crucial.
Right. So
that you have one authority,
central authority,
which can play around with taxation and all that, but to make sure those who are disadvantaged are not permanently disadvantaged.
Right.
Like we do. I mean, we generate, for example, Kampala generates a lot of money.
Yes.
But we use the money to help Karamoja, which may not be contributing anything.
That's true.
Or very little, or we go to other areas. So, but that means you have to have a central authority which can do that.
Right.
And the question of the experience of what is happening in Europe now.
Yes.
We need to study it. Because they went for one currency.
And they're having problems.
But
of course in Europe, the problems they're having is that their motives are different. They're not aiming for a political union.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Here you say you have a common currency, but you have different authorities.
Yes.
Controlling that currency. How do you do that?
Right.
Because sometimes, as I say, if you have a common authority, you can take a deliberate steps to compensate those who are not as fortunate as the others. Which means you are depriving those who are doing very well to help those others who are not doing well, so to come up.
All right. Let's have another caller. Spectrum, hello. Hello. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Let's talk about, let's get back a little bit briefly to education. Makere has also churned out many people, but it still has its own challenges. Okay. Yes, hello? You're welcome to Spectrum.
This is Eriya again.
Yes.
Actually, the right honorable minister was asking that the ministry we are in now is not helping. I want to inform him that most of the manpower there and inspection of labor, everything has stalled, because even the budget which is given to that ministry, it is 0.5%. And there are about 5 ministries there. There's youth, gender, culture, then you bring labor, then you bring there's another one. So there are about 5 ministries within, as departments within that ministry. So you find that even the manpower they have, you have only the acting commissioners of labor throughout for now the last year. So there are many issues that we need to address. But if we had our own ministry, all these problems can be addressed as a ministry. And the issue of many ministries, you know, Uganda is economically becoming very, very viable. So there is no way you can mix labor with the culture and other small things. Please, I will label you.
Okay, your point has been taken and has been noted. And I think we should collectively put pressure on those who are supposed to attend this matter to do so. If you are saying that because it is now a department, it is not adequately addressing your problems, then I think that is a valid issue that we should look into.
Yeah, because if the government is interested in dealing with unemployment, it really would have a Ministry of Labor. It had one in the past. We have a caller on the line. Your name?
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Your name?
Chigozi Kawesa is my name.
Chigozi?
Yeah, Chigozi Kawesa.
Yes, Mr. Chigozi.
When the minister was making a comment about food, I don't know whether I got him right. There is where he was saying we are selling our maize in raw form, then it is processed to the other side and we buy maize bran almost at the same price. And of recent I was reading somewhere and the Tanzanians were blocking selling of maize to other countries including Uganda. I want to say that since we are moving towards this integration, I wouldn't have any problem with the cross-border marketing of our produce. I think what we need to do is just to encourage ourselves to grow more maize and saturate the market. But otherwise, selling across, I think, is getting the market for our farmers, and I wouldn't see any problem. So what we need is to increase the production on either side of the borders, such that whichever market is lacking of certain products, we simply saturate it and we get more money from it. Otherwise, we cannot say we want to integrate and the following day we are blocking the market.
Interesting perspective. Our final caller, Spectrum. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, your name?
My name is Okelo Sam, and I would like to, first of all, congratulate the Right Honorable.
Can you switch off your radio or walk away from it?
On his appointment. And also I want to make a comment. I just want to ask a question. Whether there are some deliberate, action to create internship programs across within the countries within the East African Union, which is trying to help us to understand each other and how things operate. Because I'm taking this from the fact that the dinner is taking place, and these are students who are recognizing their presence in a place at one time, and therefore they understand and appreciate the culture of the university. So are there within the East African Ministry a deliberate action to have internship programs, to have Ugandans go work in Kenya, Kenyans come work in Uganda or Rwanda, that is initiated or coordinated from the ministry?
Okay. All right. Let's your response, sir.
I think Mr. Chigozi is talking about an ideal situation. I think selling raw materials is one of the weakest points in our African economies. Take coffee. We sell coffee to Europeans who drink it, not so much Uganda. But we sell the coffee beans. And the kilo is about, I don't know how much now. It is very, very low. But if you go to a coffee shop in London, you pay almost 3 times.
If not more.
If not more time than what our farmers are paid. This is the point.
Right.
Value addition. That's what we talk about, value addition.
It is processed and then branded.
Yes. So here, it would be good for that our maize, instead of saying it, just seed.
Process it first.
We should process it first.
Brand it.
And brand it, sell them unga or posho. Yes. That's what they want. For us, we retain
the maize brand.
The maize brand. Then we can process our animal feed.
Right.
But at the moment they take all the raw maize, then come back with the brand, and we pay, as you were saying, they pay the same price or even more.
Right.
And then you find the price of animal feeds. And of course the jobs, I'm talking of the jobs. If you are processing the maize, that means people you have millers.
Yes.
Like Maganju.
Right.
It must be employing many people.
True.
But now if you take the maize in the raw form,
denying them jobs.
The jobs are taken to.
And the chicken industry is affected, the animal industry is affected.
So that's what really the point I'm talking about.
And for the record, next year, December 2012, Uganda has put a ban.
Yes,
we will not be able to export raw crops anymore, maize at least.
And I hope that, of course, we shall be having capacity to process. Because if you crush
grain.
Yes.
Maybe people should begin to invest in that area.
Yes. They should. That's really what we should be doing.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Kello, this question of internship across the border is something I think we shall do in the future. It's a good idea that students, particularly young people, should be able to go across and work there and interact with the population there. But through institutional education, education institutions, sorry,
Yes.
this is how it's being done. For example, Kenya has about over 3,000 students in Uganda schools.
Yes.
Secondary schools, at university level.
Right.
And I think by the time they leave this place,
They would have done internship.
internship there somehow, not planned, but somehow it happened.
Yes.
And I met one time I was in Bujumbura and I was at the airport. Someone says, "Are you from Uganda?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, no, I was in Mukono University. I know Uganda very well."
Right.
So some of these unplanned internship, but it should be deliberate. I think I agree with Mr. Kello, should be deliberate.
Okay, we have to end here. Thank you very much, Honorable Kategaya. But let's recap a little bit about the luncheon on Saturday next week. The fundraising luncheon for the East African community.
No, for University of Dar es Salaam.
University of Dar es Salaam, pardon me.
Yes.
Is taking place at State House in Tebe on Saturday the 16th. 12 o'clock. You don't need a card. You need to drive to the gate. Tell them you're going to attend that luncheon at 12 o'clock. Pay 200,000 shillings or more, and you can attend that to help revive the East African.
I also shall try to give some cards to some people who can reach.
All right.
Okay.
Honorable Kategaya, thank you very much for coming tonight. Honorable Kategaya is the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs. He was here on Spectrum today to answer for us the question how the East African community can overcome the current challenges of human capital development as it embarks or aims for self-sustainability. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Edmond Chisto. We'll be back tomorrow. Up next, there's the news in English.
Let's talk about the home of your dreams and how you plan to finance it. Let's discuss money, location, and time frames, and whether you plan to build it or purchase it or renovate it. Let's make it possible for you to get started now so that you get into your own home sooner rather than later. Let's enable you to borrow against your house so that you expand and meet all your financial needs. Let's offer you a Stanbic Bank home loan. To find out if you qualify for a home loan, ask at any Stanbic Bank branch today.
Stanbic Bank, moving forward.
Just like an uncut diamond is brought to life by unmatched skill and dedication, only our brewmaster holds the secrets to crafting a crystal malt lager. Under the exacting international standards at Now Breweries, he uses only the finest, most carefully selected grains of roasted crystal malt and sets in motion the delicate process of releasing their full roast. The result is a world-class beer with a fresher